Hi everyone, I want to take a look at the IBB Nasdaq Biotechnology iShares ETF. Now this ETF tracks the biotech sector and has been a tremendous winner for those who are in it, and want to see what's going on with the chart here. We had a pullback. On this day here, I sent out a message that this was looks like a climactic gap up for no apparent reason, and that we would get faded. And in fact we did. We got faded about 11% from top to bottom here. So a lot of you were wondering if this was a low and it will continue higher. At this point there's no way to know. We need a few more trading sessions to see the behavior of this ETF. Now, needless to say though, it does look like there's a lot, possibly capitulation here based on this volume, and then buying here off of the 50-day, a bounce off of the 50-day. A very solid move indeed, and the candlestick formation does look like a Morningstar type formation. One concern is this candlestick here on 3.5. We closed below this swing high here, and that's a concern that I would be looking on Monday for it to get resolved, meaning it needs to close above this level. If we stay here for 3 or 4 days, there's a chance that this will continue lower. Now, if we went ahead and closed above this line, the next point of resistance I would be looking at is the 10-day line. And since we broke down on it heavily, this will serve as resistance. As people who miss this opportunity to sell may take the chance at the 10-day to unload their shares. So depending on how many sellers we have here, we may push above the 10-day intraday, but you have to understand that what you see intraday is not as significant as what you see as the closing candle. So if we go ahead and break above the 10-day intraday and everything looks good, you want to be cautious and watch how it closes. If it closes below the 10-day moving average, then you have a more bearish signal. And the following day, you want to see confirmation of that bearish signal, and the way you see that is on the candle where it got rejected at the 10-day line. If the next day we break below that candlestick's lowest price, and that would be a good opportunity to short or unload shares or manage your trades accordingly. Now, if we get above the 10-day and we actually close above, the other point of resistance or the other point of concern, we have here another potential point of resistance. We have two candlesticks here. We couldn't get above this line here. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw this just for clarity's sake. Right here would be a potential resistance point. And if we turn here, we're going to have a lower high. So anywhere between this point and this high, we can have a lower high, and that is that is a bearish pattern. If we take a look at the SPY here, we had a similar pullback recently. We pulled back to this line and we went ahead and rallied up. If you can see here, we had resistance here from this area, and we could not get above it. And you see how intraday we were above it, but the closing, it's all that matters. And every time we close price-wise pennies short of this line, and those pennies are very important. So if this was the biotech IBB and we had an advance like this, and we could not move above this resistance line for several days, and if you literally have shares in this ETF, you would want to put a stop like on this candle, the low of this candle, and get out of this before it breaks down, as you can see here. Now let's go back to the IBB itself. So that's kind of what you want to be looking for. If we get to this area, which right now is 362.82, based on this line that I've drawn, and you kind of see it hovering here for 3 or 4 days, You need to expect a lightning bolt pattern where it goes like this, maybe pulls back a little and then breaks above the line. That's a show of strength. That would give me more confidence that this was a low and we could head higher. So otherwise, you know, we're in an area where we can create a lower high. So let's go ahead, and that's just a daily time frame. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly chart and see if it can give us some more information. So here you look at the sell-off here, and this is a big candle on big volume at the very top. Very bearish, and we could not break resistance here, and then followed by a gap down. So you can see that we've risen here on the hourly chart off of the bounce. The bounce looks pretty solid here. You've got huge volume coming in on this one particular candle. Now, if we draw this out though, this very tight uptrend channel is of concern because to me it looks like it could be a bear flag. And if it is indeed a bear flag, there is more downside coming potentially. And if we do a measured move on this particular bear flag, we can see that we are targeting possibly the 318 area. The way to invalidate this bear flag is if we go ahead and break this channel line on the top here. This here, if you see on the hourly, is resistance at 349.23. So this is a key level. It needs to break it, you know, Monday or Tuesday to at least continue moving forward and invalidating this bear flag. But if it breaks down here on Monday, you'll have an early warning from the hourly chart that this was a false rally, and you'll probably have a lower high in effect. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame looks pretty solid. I didn't have the 10-day moving average, but a 10-week moving average. But the 10-week moving average, it bounced right off of it. The 10-week is almost equivalent to the 50-day moving average. So you see here, it's a bounce off of it, but you know, this candlestick pattern is a little bit bearish on the huge volume here. And also, if you take a look on the weekly, there is a potential for a head and shoulder pattern, and this is a very dreaded bearish pattern. If we also go back to the daily, I forgot to mention that this can also serve as a daily head and shoulder pattern. The head and shoulder, we're starting to see more of it. We saw it on the SPY confirmed a few days ago, and you know, Apple may be producing a head and shoulder, and this may be producing a head and shoulder. It's not confirmed yet. We have to follow it. But if it makes a lower shoulder here, then yes, we would have a head and shoulder formation, and we would be waiting for it to be confirmed or invalidated. So that's something to look at. So let's go back to the weekly. That's the hourly. So that's also the same pattern playing out here on the weekly. We'll have to see, you know, give it some more time here to see how this part fills out. So let's go ahead and look at the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, you can see this ETF has literally gone parabolic. We've had, from this base breakout, we've had a 233% gain. You can see this chart just zooming up here, and it's parabolic. We have a potential here, again, of the head and shoulder. And not only that, if you take a look at the candlestick here, we are at the end of this month. If we close at the low of this candlestick on the monthly chart, that's a bearish gravestone doji, and that would not be that would not be a good signal for this ETF. Now, when something goes parabolic and it tops out, it's great if you bought in this area and rode it all the way up here. You should congratulate yourself for holding for such a long time and making a huge return, but you don't want to take the elevator ride down, as we can see in DDD. this stock went parabolic and came crashing down. If you take a look at this DDD chart here, this is railroad charts. This is railroad tracks, and you know, that's I've told you, if you see this at the top of a chart, it's a bearish signal, and indeed it went down, and probably may still continue down. So that's the outlook I have for the biotech iShares. It does look like a bottom, but how far it can rally is a little bit uncertain, and you know, we can only be certain that it's continuing higher when it breaks this particular high. So if you liked this video, go ahead and please click on the like button below the video. Also, if you'd like to keep updated with my videos, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notification when new videos come out. So thank you so much for watching.